All right, it is live. Live. I see a group chat, but I don't see the actual YouTube chat on here. So you said I need to watch it from our actual channel?
Yeah, I don't really. Yeah, that's what I do. I just use a phone.
Gotcha. Hey, Richard's already in here. What's up, brother?
What's up, Richard?
Give us just a second here. We are trying to get this thing going and share it around. All right. Stupid trout. What up, Jay? Glad you guys are seeing this live pop up.
Too loud.
I'm going to share it to my Facebook, and then I'll be ready to rock.
Riding solo tonight.
Riding solo, missing your other half, huh?
Yeah.
And we're good. All right. So, Josh, welcome to Opie and the Smokies' first ever YouTube Live. Those who don't know, Josh Courtney is half of Black Diamond Guns and Gear. He is a local guy, one of my good friends. Been shooting now together for what I'd say almost 3 years.
Yeah, something like that.
Met Ray at the gun range we shared before one of our local gun companies had went out of business, and just been kind of hitting it off ever since. And then now we've both ended up doing this kind of stuff. So if you want to tell everybody a little bit about yourself and about your company, and start it off with that.
Yeah, we're Black Diamond Guns and Gear. If you don't know who we are, we run a YouTube channel, and it's mainly just a YouTube channel. We try not to venture into too much, just because it takes so much time doing YouTube, man. I mean, as you know, it just takes forever, and it takes a lot of our energy. So that's pretty much what we do, and we try not to take ourselves too seriously, and I think that comes through on our videos. So if you could check us out, it'd be on YouTube. It'd be Black Diamond Guns and Gear, and we're on Instagram too. But for the most part, we're always on YouTube. And usually, I have a partner here with me, Small Josh, as we like to call him. They're both named Josh. We got 3 Joshes here. Well, we would have 3 Joshes. Bob will have to do for now, I guess. But we have 3 Joshes or 2 Joshes normally. So he's not here with me right now. This is a kind of thrown together last second, so I didn't get the chance to invite him, but he probably would have been here though.
Yeah, this was kind of last minute. Bob is your stand-in stunt double today, huh?
Yeah. Bob will have to do it. He'll be quiet, I promise.
Well, yeah, man, I appreciate you jumping on. Do what?
If not, we'll have to go over and punch him in the face.
That's right. He's got a face that looks like it. He's got a face that looks like it needs punching. That's for sure.
It does.
But yeah, man, I appreciate you joining us. Let's get right into it. First thing I want to discuss with you is those 2 new Glocks you guys did a video on. So correct me if I'm wrong, but those slides are from what is it? Rock Slide USA?
Yes, Rock Slide USA is the gun company we got the completed upper slide or complete uppers from. These things are pretty freaking cool, and it's just they just look awesome. I mean, you can see it there. Just they look aggressive, they look mean, and the fact that it actually lightens it up a little bit is actually really cool too. But they basically, I don't think that they sell I don't think they sell lowers. I think they only do slides and uppers and stuff. Now, they will do a stripped complete or a completely stripped slide if you want to do that. Cost you a little bit less money, which is cool and everything if you got parts that you want to stick in there. But they will do a complete slide with the, you know, literally everything, barrel, you know, all the parts, everything. Sleeves and, you know, and they will cut them out if you want them to be cut out for a certain kind of optic, or they will not cut them out if you don't want them cut out for a certain kind of optic. So it's just a really cool company that we came across on Coda Boy 32's channel. And I think,
nice.
Yeah, man, it was really weird. I was calling, you know, we both met Coda Boy 32 at the Iraq Veteran Shoot. Just a cool dude. And when we got there, he seemed to, you know, throw information out at us and give us some insights and stuff on the YouTube community and how to do things and stuff. And so I was watching his channel one morning when I was at work. It was like 5:30 in the morning. And I was just like, man, that is a cool video, because he put it up and it was about rock slide. And he was saying, you know, he was doing a Polymer 80 build just like this. And I was like, man, that slides are freaking bad. He had one that was cut out like this. I think it was gold. I think it was like a gold one on top of black with a black barrel. Like it looked freaking sick. Or like a burnt bronze. Or whatever color they did, it was burnt bronze or something. But it looked really cool. And I was like, man, I got to get a hold of that company. I looked at them. And they were a fairly smaller company, a fairly newer company. So when I looked at them, I emailed them right away at like 6:30 that morning. And I was like, hey, my friend Coda Boy 32 told me to come over and talk to you guys, even though they totally did not tell me to come talk to them at all. I was just like, he told me to come talk to you, and we need some slides and all sorts of stuff. And they were just happy-go-lucky just to send this one out, just because, I don't know if it's because I mentioned his name or they were a newer company or what, but they're a really cool company, and they take care of us.
So one thing I've noticed is they're quite a bit cheaper than everybody else who does the same thing, huh?
Yeah, absolutely. I think you can get a complete slide for like $230,
which is kind of unheard of. You know,
exactly. For you to have a completed slide with all the parts, barrel, and everything, and even a threaded barrel at that, for $220, $230, it's a pretty good price.
Yeah, I mean, for example, you get on eBay right now, and eBay is like my guilty pleasure. I know a lot of people like Amazon, but I always like eBay because I always end up having better luck on eBay.
Dude, Amazon doesn't eBay have nearly half the amount of stuff that eBay does.
No, it doesn't. And it's funny too to me, because stuff like charging handles and bolt carrier groups or even barrels will disappear off of eBay, but people find a way to get them back. Yeah. Up on that website. You know, they'll say it's for airsoft or something crazy, but you know, I'll just randomly check a bunch of keywords on eBay and you'll find crazy deals on stuff.
Seems like somehow,
you know, it's pretty cool.
Less flexible or more flexible on there than they are on Amazon. Amazon, you can type in Glock whatever, it doesn't matter what you type in, and it's going to bring up maybe a holster or maybe, you know, like pins to take down stuff or something, you know, and it's nowhere near what you're looking for.
Yeah, and before I went to eBay, Amazon was my go-to. Like when I built my first AR 4.5 years ago, I think I bought 90% of the parts off of Amazon.
Wow.
I think I bought my barrel and my lower receiver in person, and that was it. So, you know, it's pretty crazy how the times change so quick. But, you know, $230 for a complete upper for your Glock. I mean, that's nuts. And even looking on eBay for some of these guys who do the same kind of cuts, you're looking at that much for just a strip slide at least, if not another $100 on top of that.
I agree. I mean, there's something that looks this customized, basically, something that looks this mean and this aggressive. I mean, for $230, that's unheard of.
Yeah, that's crazy.
And you got super tight tolerances, like for for you to put sights on them. And these excess sights, usually with excess sights, you can put them in and you don't have to tap them in. You can literally just like push them in, screw them down, whatever. These you actually have to tap in. I mean, it's tight on everything. It's just really nice.
That's awesome. I like the OD color too. Are you mentioned you're planning on putting an optic on that one?
Yeah, if I can ever get up enough money to do it or get somebody to give me one, sure.
Man, I'll tell you what, I really like talking about optics. You know, the Aimpoint Acro's out, the new Trijicon SRO, and then of course the RMR that everybody has nowadays. I really want to try the Vortex, either the Venom or the Viper. You know, I think as well as Vortex performs on all my rifle optics that I have, I don't
Yeah.
see why it would be an issue throwing one of them on my Glock, you know, especially when they come down to about a third of the cost of anything else out there on the market.
Oh yeah. I mean, Brandon from Tactical Innovations, he is a dealer or something from them, or he's something like that, where he gets a crazy deal with them. And he was like, yeah, I'll hook you up. You can use my deal and all sort of stuff. And I think we could get them for like $160, $170 or something like that.
That's really good.
But the thing about Vortex is that they don't do that. RMR does is Trijicon RMR will stay on all the time, and you have to you don't really have to worry about battery life. You know what I'm saying? And Vortex is I think you have to turn them on, and I think you have to worry about the battery life. It's really shitty, I think. And I'm not sure because I've never had.
I'm not sure either because I haven't actually seen one up close and held one in my hand. But does the battery go underneath on the Vortex as well, like the RMR? So that was the only thing that was really a downside to the one RMR I have is you basically got to change to zero or redo the zero when you redo your battery.
Yeah,
that's not a big deal because you can do that pretty quickly if you know what you're doing. But that's just kind of one of those things. Is like, well, why they didn't just put the battery pack on top?
Yeah, be a lot easier.
Yeah, you would think. I guess it takes up button space, but
yeah. I mean, it's cool that they have the wake up factor. You know what I'm saying? Like you shake it or it feels any kind of vibration that comes on and stuff. That's cool and everything, but the battery life is what I'd be more concerned about if I was going to carry it. Now, like you said, I'm probably not going to carry this gun. I mean, let's be honest. This is not something that I would probably trust, in my opinion. I mean, it doesn't have OEM parts in it. It's got a trigger, from a company. It's got parts from a company. I mean,
there's always that chance that it could not go bang on you.
Yeah, so I would never carry this, but it shoots amazing. It really is like one of the most comfortable guns I've ever shot, and it's crazy that it's a polymer 80 and it feels that great. But as far as like the trigger goes, man, the trigger is amazing, and it's just some $46 trigger I found on eBay. Seriously, it's like Sipico or something, like some name I've never heard of before, but it feels great.
You said $46?
Yeah.
Wow.
$46 flat face trigger, yeah.
I mean, that's almost as much as a Ghost Spring kit. You know what I mean? I think a Ghost Spring kit is about $25-$30, so why not just get a new trigger if that's the case? Does it take out the wall completely?
Yes. Well, for the most part. I mean, there's barely anything there. But
nothing like stock, though.
Nothing like stock. But awesome. The trigger, it being $46, was just the shoe itself, and I think I paid maybe $52, I think, with the bar. So it was like with the shoe and the bar, it was like $50, $52.
Dang.
So it's
that's cool, man,
and it feels great. And but like I said, I would never trust it. So back to my story, I would never trust it. So that's why I wouldn't mind going with Vortex, because then I'm just going to play with it at the range, show people whatever, So I wouldn't mind going with something a little cheaper.
And Vortex is pretty awesome because, I've had 2 incidents alone myself to where I probably wasn't the best on the optic, and they replaced it, no questions asked. And I know a lot of, when you get into the expensive brands, Trijicon, Aimpoint and stuff, they also have really good warranties, but a lot of those things aren't transferable. Whereas the first thing I kind of took into Vortex was an old Strikefire 1 that I had bought used, and I knew, that it wasn't going to last forever, but I went ahead and tried a warranty option on it, and I got a brand new Strikefire 2 for it. I mean, to me, when anybody asks about an affordable optic, the first thing that ever comes to mind is Vortex.
Oh, absolutely. That's like the first name I mentioned in anything as far as what they do, but because of their warranty. You can literally sell it to somebody and they have the same warranty like you were talking about. So that's why I think they're awesome.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. So now another question about your Glock. You have the P80 frame. We're about to actually make our first P80 frame, and I haven't even begun to watch my first YouTube video on it. So in your opinion, how easy is it to actually build that P80 frame?
Super freaking easy. And the thing is that on YouTube, you can't put stuff like that up on YouTube anymore. That's the reason why if you find it, it's probably not going to be a very good one because it's not going to have great production because you're not just going to be able to tell anything because it's going to be some Joe Schmo in his garage showing you, a video. But
so wait, sorry to interrupt, but they actually filter out P80 builds on YouTube.
Yeah, they don't want anything. They don't want anything to show you how to build any kind of firearm. So they will automatically demonetize your channel and everything if they see you do it.
Wow. So we actually just put up, before the recent Tech Pack video, I put up the little time lapse of the AR-15 build. So I wouldn't be surprised if I get a demonetization letter here soon because of that one.
Yeah, that's. I was actually going to ask you about that because I was wondering if you got anything from them yet. I had one up there. It was what was it? It wasn't the Glock one. I think we had a lower parts kit build on one of our ARs that we did, and it was just building the lower, like just regular putting it together, showing somebody how to do it basically. And they took it out. They deleted our whole video and everything. But I have a Glock complete breakdown and complete put back together of a Glock on there, and they haven't caught that one yet. But I put it in private just so it wouldn't be on there. But yeah, it's weird, man. Their laws and rules and regulations are just getting so strenuous that you really can't. You got to watch what you're doing, otherwise you're going to be deleted.
So when you talk about, me, I'm really new to this whole YouTube thing, so I hear the demonetization all the time. So when that comes into play, you're strictly talking about ad revenue on your YouTube videos, right? The ones that they kind of provide for you.
Sort of, yeah. So it has to do with that, and like I was talking to Johnny from 182nd Ideas. I was asking him about that whole thing because I'm new to it too. Like we're just now at like 4,800 subscribers or something like that, and
congrats by the way.
Oh, thanks, man. When we just pushed over 1,000, they sent us a thing. It was like, hey, you're over 1,000, you can do all this. They told us everything we could do basically, and one of those things was monetization. And it was weird. It's like I had the idea of like, well, I would like to do monetization, but if it's not worth it, then I don't want to worry about it. So I talked to Tundra Tactical and a couple other guys. I was like, hey, is it worth doing this? And they were like, yeah, absolutely, do it. So I was like, okay. So I sent in my request to do monetization. And what they do is they will make you send in an email saying, I want to do monetization. And they will, look at your channel. And he said that, you won't even get an email back for like 5 months. Like it takes forever for them to even look at you. Wow. So I still haven't got an email back yet, by the way. And, so when you get monetization, it does put ads on your videos. But Johnny was telling me that it doesn't necessarily have to do with just the ads. Yes, it brings in revenue, but it also allows you to be in the algorithm more. So more or less, YouTube will push your videos because you have ads on them versus somebody that doesn't have any ads on theirs.
That makes a lot of sense. Man.
Yeah, and we're at 4,800 now. We could possibly be at 10,000 now if we had stuff on ads, or whatever. But on the other hand, I was like,
right.
If I do that, then that also puts me in the category of, well, whenever I put something up and they put ads on it, are they watching me more? That kind of thing. So I kind of almost don't want to do it because I don't want to be under their thumb more than what I already am. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know. It's weird.
Yeah, you don't want to draw any more unwanted attention to something, especially like in an industry that we're in, because they tend to pick and choose. And it seems like a lot of these big platforms that we use, unfortunately, are on the opposite side of what we are.
Yeah, exactly. And I don't know if I want to be on that watchful eye. And the weird thing is like, back in the day, like when you see, the Gun Collective, Johnny, and all these guys, they're making money on it. I mean, I don't know how much they're making on it, but to me, this was the dream to do. Like you do this for a living. Like these guys, rec veterans, those guys that have millions of subscribers, they do this for a living for sure. I mean, the Gun Collective is a living too, but I mean, their money is ridiculous. And they not only do they use this platform to make money, they have other ways to make money too. They do other ads where people pay them to do ads, and they run a full freaking business. That's the reason why it's their job. To me, this is a hobby on the side because I can't make it my full-time business right now.
Yeah, and I'm kind of in the same boat. not only the monetization, but you hear about Amazon affiliates. So, once you get to a certain point, I'm assuming, the links just kind of come following in. Hey, like if you want to put this out, you'll make a certain amount per click, if it actually ends up in a sale or whatever.
The thing, we tried to do that. we did stuff really early on that we probably shouldn't have done. And it was like, we tried to do the Amazon affiliate thing, and it obviously didn't pan out because we had no subscribers. I mean, we had, a couple hundred or whatever, but at that point I'd heard about it from other people, and I was like, oh man, this is such a good idea. And, we did, I think the video we did with Bob, where I was like punching him around and stuff like that, I put an affiliate link for a Bob on there. Who the hell is going to go watch our video where it's got 150 views or whatever, and they're going to go buy a $300 Bob thing? I mean, it's just not. So to be smart about it, you can put in affiliate links to where you get like, you see all these guys that are like, oh, all my film equipment, like, lights and all these things that, in my head, I was thinking, oh, this has to be the stuff I actually use. Not at all. It could just be bullshit that you want people to buy. So you put it for $10 or $15 on there, and they're like, oh, they're more likely to be like, oh, this guy uses this. Oh, I'm gonna go buy it. That kind of
right.
That's what those links are made for. And we did ours, and I think that they have a rule that if you don't make any money on your affiliate links in like 3 months or something like that, they cut your affiliate link off.
That's fair too. I guess if you're not bringing in any money, there's no reason for them to, not waste their time. But the same thing with me in the ATM business. If I put an ATM in a business and it doesn't make any money, it's just a giant paperweight. So I'm not keeping that thing there very long at all.
Yeah. Well, check it out. The Gun Stomp said Amazon affiliate is working good for me. I've only got 1,300 subs and making $50 a month off of Amazon. You have to have 500 subs to be approved. That's pretty cool. So,
well, dang, I'm only about 45 away, bro. I'm almost on my way to the big time.
I mean, I'm thinking about trying it again and maybe listing like our top 25 and stuff on there. Like, I don't know. So maybe we'll do it again.
I'm an idea guy. My head never stops spinning, all this stuff. You talked about Bob in the corner. A great idea in my head would be that once you guys get to a certain point where people are just like hounding at your door to get stuff, in your videos, is to let people put their T-shirts on Bob. Have a different T-shirt every time Bob's on an episode.
Yeah, that'd be a good idea. I didn't even thought about that, but that's pretty cool. The only reason why I have them up there and have our T-shirt is maybe to let somebody know that we have shirts. But that is a good idea, though.
Subliminal messaging, man. You got to let people know. That's why I always wear my hats. I don't know how many times I get asked, "Hey, where'd you get that red, orange flag hat?"
Branding, and I was listening to the podcast that John did with the other day, and he mentioned your brand or mentioned your YouTube channel and stuff. And that's what he said. He said, man, you're good at branding. You literally have your name in everybody's hand whenever you meet them. And that's actually really good. You're good at that.
Yeah, it's credit that to probably a little bit of the ATM sales, but also that we started off selling patches. We started doing these gun reviews and mostly oriented toward, the actual review side of things just recently in the past year or so. So I think that patch thing kind of helped a lot because I've had to constantly sell the brand from the very beginning. And now the brand's just kind of carrying itself, luckily, which is nice. We've got a decent amount of loyal followers that pretty much just want anything we put out, which is a good feeling that it doesn't matter if you put out the ugliest patch or, hat ever. They're like, oh man, I've got to have that because I have everything else that they put out so far.
Yeah. The patch game is different, man. Like, they're just, like you said, the loyal people. And once they have something, it's just like, they got to have the next one. They got to have the next one. It's almost like drugs. Really.
It's crazy, dude. And it's really cool now because not only am I trying to, do my stuff, but we actually got companies coming to us asking us for patch ideas. So that to me is, hey, we've hit it big, where companies who have made a living off this gun stuff are asking us what we would, what we would do with their brand for a patch, So there's a couple companies that we can actually put out there that we make patches for, like a Men 2. We're already in talks because the NRA show is actually in Nashville next year.
Yeah.
So that opens up an entire possibility of limited edition patches that different companies could drop at the NRA show, so it brought up the whole Tennessee Orange. A Men 2 is kind of known for doing limited edition magazines. So like when we all went to Dallas, they had the Texas mag. The first thing we talked about was doing a Tennessee mag and putting the giant T on the bottom of their magazine and it having, that orange logo on it. I mean, it's cool stuff that you can do nonstop with patches. And even taking something as simple as gun parts, you can turn into something super limited edition. So like I'm working on something with the company we both know right now, an idea that he had that I had turned into a different idea that I'm just like, oh my God, this is brilliant, and I randomly just think of this stuff.
Yeah.
Just like the Cheshire Cats, just like, in Bay, all that stuff. It's just random thoughts that I'll even wake up in the middle of the night and be like, oh my God, that should be a patch.
Dude, we need to make the Beavis and Butthead patch. We have to make the Beavis and Butthead patch that we were making.
You need to, man. I don't know. Did you see all the Beavis and Butthead patches we made for East Tennessee Patch Supply?
No.
So he actually made quite a bit. He made like a New Year's Eve patch, a Christmas patch, and he kind of went theme related with his Beavis and Butthead patches.
That's cool.
So, but yeah, nobody has done a tactical Beavis and Butthead yet. That needs to be done.
Something with have the 3D or the night vision goggles or something like that, and somebody have like one of the helmets or something. And like a plate carrier. That would be cool.
That would be cool.
Yeah, we need to get that done. I don't know who came up with that. I think it was either Josh came up with it or his girlfriend Cricket came up with it. I can't remember, but she drew it up, and man, it just looks so cool.
And it was like perfectly along the lines of what that Beavis and Butthead animation style is. Like she nailed it.
Just like it, dude. I'm not kidding. Like the face and everything, besides it being a fatter guy because I'm fatter, it looked just like it. I was like, that is awesome. I'm really surprised that she didn't put she didn't have glasses on it at first. And I was like, holy shit, that looks exactly like it. You got to put glasses on them.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Hang on just 1 second. You going to bed? I love you. Bye. Sleep good.
Oh.
Kissing the baby goodnight.
So sweet.
So, going into, I guess we mentioned the Glock, we mentioned monetization, Amazon affiliates. One thing I literally just signed up for 20 minutes before. I've been working on it all day, but I just submitted for approval and got approved a few minutes ago was our Patreon.
Oh, cool.
So I know a lot of other companies use that as another source of revenue. In your opinion, do you like Patreon? Has it been something that is, just kind of something you felt like you needed to do, or is it more of like something that it's definitely a good opportunity for businesses to use?
I think it's good, especially even if you don't use YouTube or anything like that. I think it's definitely good for people to use. If you have any sort of content, whether you're a musician or anything like that, it's good for people to use because it has a way for people to connect with their, person that they like and to be able to support them directly. So I think it's really good. Man, I thought they had a lot of stuff where people were getting mad at Patreon because of something that they said or did or something like that recently about gun stuff. Like they were not for the 2A or something like that. I don't know. I can't remember.
Yeah, somebody just brought that up to me yesterday asking about Patreon, and I was like, I've heard things briefly, but for the most part, I know that most decently sized gun channels also have a Patreon. It seems like.
Yeah. Well, there's no other way to do it. There's no other means of creating something where somebody can give to you like that, unless you do PayPal, but PayPal is even the same thing. I've heard a lot of guys, if you go to monetization on YouTube, they're allowed to do super chat when you get monetized, which is basically where somebody can give you $10 or whatever they wanted to give you. And I've seen like people like Talon Sai. I've watched his live thing once, and people were giving him like $100, like left and right, and he probably made $800 off of that one live chat, and it was like 30 minutes long. And I was just like, I was amazed. I was like, dude, I got to get monetized just so I can get super chat. But then again, you got to get people that are willing to give it to you. So, but the super chat's cool and everything, but I think YouTube takes a certain percentage of that. I'm pretty sure they take like 3 or 5% of your super chat stuff.
Well, I'd have to imagine. So, I mean, even when I signed up for Patreon, you had a couple different options, but one was pretty much the one I signed up for was identical to PayPal. It was like 3% plus 30 cents or something like that.
Yeah, I think when you deposit it into your account, they take a certain percentage of it. We do Patreon. We have like 20, I think, or something like that. It's somewhere around there. I don't know. We don't get on Patreon a whole lot, and it's just because we don't have time to do it. I try to make time to do it, and I do a lot of the social media stuff. I don't know if anybody knows that or not, but I'm pretty much most of our social media. I post a lot of stuff. I post on Patreon, YouTube and editing and all. I do all that, but I just don't have time to do it all. So it's hard because I know that the guys at Patreon, the guys that support us on Patreon, the guys that will support you on Patreon are the guys that solely want to help you out because they love your shit.
Right.
Period. And it's not because, hey, I got a chance to win something like with the TGC. He does the gun month or a gun a month club or something like that, where if you enter it at $5, you get a chance to win a gun every month, which is fucking cool as shit. I wish I could do that to somebody.
Yeah, I signed up for your guys' Patreon and the Gun Collectives today. Yep.
Oh, damn.
So I've had the app downloaded for a good month, man, and I've just been the baby is really kind of not ruined my motivation, but it's just kind of taken a lot of my energy away. Obviously a lot of sleepless nights, and even when I do sleep, it's like I'm not sleeping. So I'm sure you guys could tell I kind of walk around like a zombie right now, but it's just I felt like it was a different way to present us as a brand and something that makes you look a little bit more solidified in the fact that you're on another platform,
dude, even people from your Facebook, you have a shit ton of people on Facebook. Don't you got like 8,000 something on Facebook?
Yep.
Dude, put it all over Facebook, and those guys may want to support you on there too. And then you have such a bigger audience that will know about it. So
I mean, you think about $1.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what the one I signed up for you guys was. I did the $5 with the Gun Collective to get into the gun a month thing you were talking about.
Yeah.
But even $5, even $10 a month. I mean, I pay $15 a month now for Netflix, and it freaking sucks. You know what I mean? So
if we could get everybody to do $1 a month, we'd be set. I mean,
yeah, that's crazy. Even if they're taking out 3% of $1 a month, you said you're at 4,800 subscribers on YouTube. So even if you got 10% of that, that's almost $500 a month coming in, and they're only going to take 3% of that, which is what, $15 a month. So you're making a couple. I mean, that's your ammo fund right there. I mean, that's huge. That would be life changing for us to have something like that coming in a month, to where I didn't have to take it out of my own pocket to do these videos and stuff.
Yeah, and it's weird. Like Coda Boy is completely different. And you guys and everybody that's on here that we hang out with these guys. We talk to these guys on a normal basis. Like we text these guys and have conversations with them. So we're not bashing any of them. I love all these guys. But they're all different. Coda Boy, he's completely different. He doesn't want to ask anybody for money, so he doesn't have a Patreon. And I'm just like, I could see that, I guess. He's like, these people that are my subscribers, they don't owe me anything because I do these videos for fun or whatever. And that is totally respectable and awesome.
Yeah.
But I'm putting it out there, so if they want to contribute, I'm happy for them. If they don't want to contribute, guess what? I'm still going to be doing these fucking videos, so it doesn't really matter.
Right. And that's the thing too. I think I struggled with a long time with that exact concept, was like, am I kind of being greedy in the fact that I'm starting a Patreon when I sell patches and do this stuff? Well, hell, I mean, sometimes the patches and the hats don't sell. I mean, I made 30 of these hats and we sold 10 of them. You know what I mean? So I was lucky. I was lucky enough to pay for the cost of the hats, but you know, there was no profit that came in off that. So having that option to where it's like, hey, it's here. It's not necessary. You're still going to get great content on YouTube, Instagram, and Facebook from us. But if you want a little more, you know, here is your opportunity to get that. And I think what we can present with that is like a monthly swag pack for sure. You know, we're going to kind of follow along the lines of the Gun Collective and try to do a monthly giveaway. Now, I can't give away a gun, maybe not even a box of ammo, but I sure as heck can give away a couple patches a month to people.
Well, that's the thing too. We get tack packs every month, right?
Right.
So you could totally just give away your tack pack if you wanted to.
Yeah, yeah, for
we
sure.
We have thought about that, and we just haven't done it yet. We've been saying forever that we're going to give this shit away on our Patreon, and we just haven't done it yet. We just don't. I just don't have the time, honestly.
Dude, it's kind of a pain. Like, even as easy as I've gotten the procedure down for when we do a patch drop, like we dropped that giraffe patch and we sold 50 that night, you know, so we made 100, we only sold half of them, but we raised $1,200 for the zoo, but I had to make 50 orders. So even with 50 people ordered it through the website where their address and everything pops in, I still have to go through each one of those and add in the weight and the size of that package.
Yeah.
So you know, you're talking about a good minute per order, and then you got to turn around and put that label on a package and put their order in the package, you know. So I took my 8-hour drop procedure, you know, to actually get everything out, packed up and sent out, 8 hours down to 3 hours, but that's still 3 hours on a drop night that I'm spending trying to pack up orders and get stuff done.
Yeah.
And even now I've got 5 to 6 things I need to ship, and it's going to get shipped after the show, but it's like, oh my God, you know, I got to print those labels. You know, it's almost just like a headache to do that stuff.
Yeah, I agree. Just want to give a quick shout out to everybody that's in the chat right now. The Gun Snob's in there. Mark Spivey. Let's see, Richard's in there. These guys are, man, they're on everything that we do. We always see them. They're cool dudes. And let's see, I think Richard said, I think Gunstreamer is a good idea, and I agree with you. It is a good idea, and we are actually on Gunstreamer. But
so I guess that's my next thing I need to get on, because I've just recently been hearing about it. I thought is Gunstreamer like the new Full 30 or whatever the other one was?
Sorta. It's okay. So YouTube is very easy to use. It's got an app, and you can search anything you want on it. Gunstreamer is pretty much like YouTube, except for I personally don't think that the app works as good. But it's still cool that this is a company like YouTube that is 2A friendly, and they push it hard. They are totally 2A people. They want you to have, you know, gun content. Otherwise, it wouldn't be called Gunstreamer. But the fact that you can go, it's not as active as YouTube, obviously. The only reason why I put my videos and connected the two is because when I put up a video, it's on Gunstreamer as a backup. So all my videos I put up on there, they transfer over to there, and it's there just in case I ever get deleted or whatever. So I don't lose those videos, basically.
And is Gunstreamer a free app for anybody to tune into and everything as well? Like, I've literally never even looked at Gunstreamer once, and that's you know, my own busy schedule that I haven't looked at it. I just wrote it down on my notepad, so that's something I'm going to do tonight before bed. It's
a free app that you can get on, you know, App Store or whatever. I think iOS and Android. But the thing is, Hitcock45, the guy that is the god of YouTube gun stuff, he has, you know, 8 million subscribers or whatever. He has 500 subscribers on Gunstreamer. It just doesn't bring people there as much. Now, if we could literally get every single person that's watching gun stuff on YouTube to go over to Gunstreamer, it'd be fucking sick. We'd have it set.
Sounds like Gunstreamer needs to make a Patreon.
Yeah, right. So it's just not there. The revenue and the sources and stuff, and people come there to watch it, just isn't there. It's the only reason why it's not any bigger.
Yeah, I'll definitely have to look into that. I'm glad you mentioned people in the comments. Guys, I'm so sorry I haven't been paying attention. It's kind of new to me to do this whole YouTube live thing, but the Gun Stop said that YouTube takes 50% of your super chats.
Yeah, that's ridiculous. And Adam F says, "Where's my shout out?" Sorry, man, I missed you.
Adam F don't get no shout out.
Let's see, who else is in here? Pat, I don't know, Pat's still in here. Jay Bell is in here.
So, brief talking point about Jay. Jay is with Liberty Bell Firearms.
Cool.
Just recently, me and him have hooked up. I'd say, if Jay can correct me here, I think it's been about 3 months now. But he was the one that sent us the lower for that new AR build.
Yeah.
That Liberty Bell lower. It's got Tyranny and Liberty on it for the safety
awesome.
switch. Jay is a super cool dude, man. You guys need to get with him. He's got great prices on everything that he sells. Anything I've ordered in the past 3 months has been through him. So he's actually saved me more money than what eBay has, which is crazy. So anybody listening, definitely go check out Liberty Bell Firearms. He's got
get hooked up with Liberty Bell.
wink, wink. Yeah. I should have introduced you guys at the NRA show, man. The NRA show this year was so crazy that there was about 10 people that were messaging me throughout the day trying to catch up with me at booths and stuff. And I would tell them I was at a certain booth, and then I would forget and leave.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, it was.
Dude, the only time that I saw you was more or less on the going to the meetups afterwards.
Yeah.
We were always on the go.
Dude, I mean, like, compared to the year before when we were all there, I mean, I felt like, I don't know what I felt like. I mean, it was the most insane gun event feeling that I've had. Like, where people, dude, I saw 20 of my shirts around the event. Like, that was the best feeling ever. Like, people I hadn't met yet were they made sure they wore their Opie shirts to the NRA show. So
yeah, that's awesome.
That was really cool.
Yeah. Just imagine what this year's going to be like, man.
Oh, I know.
In our hometown, basically. Well, not in our hometown, but in our home state, I guess. And it's so much closer. And it's just the fact that we got 2 years into the situation that we're in now, and the fact that I never thought that we were going to be where we are now. So I think it's going to be a good time.
I mean, not trying to speak for you, but I would say this past year has been the best for both of us. I mean, your guys' YouTube channel has exploded in the past few months. Our Facebook went from almost 2,000 people a little over a year ago to now at 8. You know, that to me is insane when I had spent 2.5 years getting that first nearly 2,000 people, you know, and I like busted my ass for that first 2,000 people, like every day, making sure that I had multiple videos up a day, you know, and that was, you know, where we were getting 5 to 10 likes, even with 2,000 people a video, just because our stuff wasn't getting pushed through. And now I can post the stupidest thing ever, and it's got 100 likes in an hour. I mean, it's not all about the likes, you know, but that's a good feeling to see that people are watching this stuff. And, you know, I made my post today. It's been kind of a struggle the past few weeks, just trying to get used to this whole work dream, you know, dad life, you know, and trying to be, it's not hard to get it all done, as in a sense, like I'm depressed. It's like, I feel like I'm letting people down when I'm doing other things. So if I'm at Opie and the Smokies, I feel like I'm letting my wife and my kid down. Or if I'm at work, I feel like I'm letting my wife and kid down because I'm at work and I'm not seeing him grow up already and stuff like that. But
my wife has come to let me know that, like, she's great and she's very supportive and everything like that. She does not want to be the person on the back burner, and I totally understand that. And I try so hard to manage my time doing both. It's sometimes it's hard, and I forget, and I kind of get stuck in what I'm doing, and I leave her behind, and I totally don't mean to. But she's there to let me know when I do it, and I'm glad she does. That way it gets my head back on straight, because family is literally the only thing you have. So, you know, family and your friends, basically. So, you know, YouTube should be last, you know what I'm saying? But it's just so hard when I equate this to doing stuff like I used to play in bands, and I played in bands for 20 years. Like, I mean, and I don't want to, I'm just old, I guess, but I literally have played in bands since I was like 15. And it's been in that whole thing of trying to make it in the music business or whatever, you know what I'm saying? And it's God, I got so over it by the time I was like 27, 26. And I equate it to the same thing. You're giving everything you got to this because, first of all, it's your hobby. And second of all, you really love doing it. So you have fun doing it. You don't realize how much time you actually spend doing it. Even when it comes to editing videos, I love doing that. I love the way I do things to make it funny. Like I like doing that stuff. So to me, it's easy to get caught up in what I'm doing and leave her out. And I know it sucks because she stands right there and she takes it, and it's shitty. But that's my whole.
Yeah, even talking about the editing videos, man, I'll be sitting up on the couch and, I'm like, yeah, I'll watch a movie, but I need to edit this video as well. And it's like an hour and a half has gone by and I haven't watched a week of the video because I've been sitting there editing on my computer the whole time.
Yeah.
And that's where I get into I need to be better on my balancing because our better halves do deserve the most priority and the most attention, and this stuff, like you said, should come on the back burner. But it is very, very easy to get caught up in what we're doing because it's time consuming, man. It's a full-time job in itself.
That's why I've kind of when we first started doing this, I was doing it every single day, every single week. Like I was literally like just doing everything on, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, trying to put out videos, trying to edit them. Like I was doing them every week, and we were doing live shows on Facebook. That was the worst because I was doing that literally like every day. It was terrible. And it wasn't terrible. I mean, I liked it because I liked doing it, but she was just like, you gotta change. Something's gotta happen because I cannot have, I literally married you and I don't have you. And it's really, so it's really easy to get caught up in that. And I don't know. It's just, it's hard to balance. You just really got to do it.
Yep. And I think it gets easier with time. You gotta, especially when you get new things thrown in. I mean, you guys are talking about moving and building a house and stuff. We just had a kid, there's life throws you things that you think you could be prepared for. We thought we were completely prepared to have this child, and then you have a child, and we literally just talked about this tonight. Like nobody literally tells you everything you sacrifice to have a kid. And that's not in a mean way. It's just like, I don't think people realize, the stuff that you don't take into consideration when that happens, even just as simple as I didn't sleep very much anyway because I would edit my videos and stuff at night. But that little bit of sleep I got is now an hour at a time because you're sitting there on edge the entire time thinking like, all right, as soon as he makes a movement, I need to get up there or get over to his crib and kind of soothe him down before it gets real bad or, et cetera. But I mean, like you said, my wife's been biggest support. She is always there, pushing me forward, and she sees the potential that the page has. So it's awesome to have somebody that will keep you in check, but is also your biggest support line.
Yeah. I couldn't do it without her support behind me doing it. And I just, like I said, I just try not to treat her like shit. Basically, I'm trying not to forget her. I'm trying not to leave her out. I'm trying not to put her on the back burner. It's one of those things that you just got to keep in your mind not to do. Yep. But we're trying to do, 1, maybe 2 videos a week. And that takes a lot, man. I'm like these guys that do it for a living. They do it for a living. They do it all the time. And not only that, most of them have editors. I ain't gonna lie. So it's doing the actual shooting and video and everything and doing the editing. It gets a little bit much, but it's we're trying to put out at least just like 2 videos a week if we're lucky. For the most part, we are going to have at least 1 video a week, and that's 7/6 Tuesday. That always goes up on Tuesday. But we usually try to have one on Tuesday and either one on Thursday or Friday. One of those 2 days, we'll put up another one. Just depends on if we got a chance to do it, basically. And the way it runs right now, that's 50 videos a year, basically, at least one. You know what I'm saying?
That's a lot of videos to do in a year. I mean, that's a lot of time put in just for a video a week.
Yeah, it's nuts. But I feel like people that, I don't know, it's so weird. It's like I feel like if we didn't do a video a week and we went and did like one every 2 weeks or something like that, I feel like people would quit watching us. I mean, like I think they would just forget about us. So it's hard for me not to go in there and at least do one a week.
Yeah. And you guys do a really good job at keeping those videos out. I mean, I'm subscribed, and not only subscribed, I got the little bell clicked. So,
Yeah.
I mean, it's cool seeing that. We had people comment on my post today, about struggling, and they were like, "Dude, like the stuff you post helps get me through the day," which is crazy that people are that. And I mean, it's amazing, and I really, really appreciate it. But to me, it's also like it's crazy that people really care that much about what we're doing, and you guys even more. I mean, you guys on YouTube, it's awesome to see you guys go live or to do your YouTube video and to watch, all these people tune in and to see one of my local buddies be hitting it big on the YouTube thing. So
yeah, I try it, man. I really appreciate that. And I like I said, if I make it, you make it. So that's the way it is. We're trying everything we can just to, try to spread the blood basically. And
yep. And I think we get lost in that a lot in this industry is we already have enough enemies. So maybe it's easy to make more. So people that should be, even if we have differences, maybe joining hands and fighting everybody who we're never going to agree with, we tend to bicker amongst ourselves. Patton and the Gun Collective did the infighting episode a couple months back. It might have been a couple weeks or a couple months, but talking about just how kind of ridiculous and disrespectful we are to each other if we don't agree with each other in this industry. Whereas, even people I don't agree with, I don't agree with you, but that's fine. I'm not going to make you live your life any other way. And, I want you to be happy and to enjoy life the way you want. That famous saying, I want gay married couples to be able to protect their pot plants with fully automatic guns. That's how I feel. Like, do you, boo-boo. Don't worry about me, and I won't worry about you. As long as you're not doing something that directly affects or puts me or mine in danger, we're good.
That's the way I feel about it, man. The less government, the better. And I think that you should just be able to do whatever you want as long as you're not hurting anybody else or yourself. Well, hell, honestly, in my opinion, I don't want people to tell me whether I can or cannot have tattoos. I don't want somebody to tell me whether I can and cannot shave my head. Like, I don't care. I literally don't give a shit what you do. Just don't mess with me and mine.
Yep. That's all it's about, man. We all have to live this same life on this same planet, so we might as well get along the best we can.
people that have guns or whatever, we get a bad rap as like these are the guys, or these are the bad guys, or whatever. We're literally the opposite. And I know I preach to the choir. Nobody in here thinks that, but you wouldn't be watching this if you thought that. But we get the bad rap of, oh, we don't like gay guys or we're racist or whatever, and it's just totally not the truth at all. It's totally completely the opposite. I just hate it as the state.
People don't talk anymore, man. That's what it all comes down to. Is we used to. I don't remember ever in my life before. I would even say, I'm about to be 32 this year. Even in college, I don't remember anybody being as divisive and as hateful to each other as what people are now. I mean, to the fact to where you wear a piece of clothing and people are willing to go out of their way to try to make your day miserable or to try to get you in trouble for wearing a piece of attire or just supporting a political party. And that's why we're in the situation we are, is just because, hey, we're not willing to talk to each other. And, even I've been guilty when the Trump election was going on. I was guilty of trying to shove my ideas down people's throats just because I thought everybody else was wrong. And I had to kind of finally step back and say, what am I doing that, that I could be doing maybe a little bit better? And it's just like, hey, just sit there and listen sometimes, because sometimes a lot of people just want to be heard. And even if they are still not going to agree when they walk away, they still just appreciate the fact that you listen to them.
Yeah, that's the thing. We do a lot of talking and no listening at all.
Yep.
Too many chiefs, not enough Indians, basically.
That is damn true. So we got a little bit off topic, but we talked about Patreon. Are you guys going to the BCSO shoot this weekend?
Absolutely. I don't know. We talked about doing it, but we don't know if we're going to or not. We'll probably just be there and do a video. That's all we'll probably be doing.
Gotcha. Yeah, I think that's all we're going to do is just try to do a little promo video for them and stuff, show what's going on. My dad's supposed to come to town, so he may come out with me if he's still around, but that kind of puts me at a limit on my time frame. And I suck at shotgun, so I'm not sure I want to go compete on a public level with a shotgun yet.
Hey, when is that shotgun class?
The weekend after. So that was actually my next question is if you guys had thought about taking that class with us, because we're going to be taking that class.
We actually, we thought about doing it too.
Yeah, man, that'd be great because
what really suck is my shoulder's really going to hate me after that.
That'd be a great day to learn to shoot shotgun left-handed.
Oh my God. Now I thought about taking a class with these. I have a Mossberg Maverick 88 that I have converted to look like a 500 basically. Mm-hmm. And the thing I like about those 88s and the 500s is that they have the open ramp basically. It's completely open and it has a little part on the bottom side where you can actually take those OPSO clips or OPSO, whatever. And you push them down in there, and they will accept the mini shells from Aguila. So I think those mini shells instead of using full loads like that.
So the mini shells are kind of new too, aren't they?
Yeah, they've been around for a little bit, but it's new to me. So
yeah, I just recently started hearing about them. But yeah, they're like a third of the size of a normal shotgun shell.
Oh, dude, they're like half size.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Basically, my Maverick 88 that would hold normally like 5 or maybe 6 with one in the chamber will now hold like 13. Wow. And you can get slugs, you can get buckshot, double aught buck, you can get everything that you can get for shotgun, you can get in those mini shells, I'm pretty sure.
So with the mini shell, I mean, they're especially great for self-defense because your flight distance is not as great, but your initial feet per second out of the barrel is pretty damn close. Do you know?
Actually, pretty. I was gonna say I think I have a box of them laying around here somewhere. I'm pretty sure they're pretty close to being the same. Well, not the same. I mean, they have less powder and less power, obviously, but they go pretty quick. Let me see if I can find one real quick.
All right. While you do that, I'll look at some comments. Adam said the struggle for YouTube fame is real. That's right, buddy. I met that sexy Josh at NRA AM. The gun snob. I know I've seen your name everywhere. I don't think we've met though. I think I recently just came across your page from when we were actually on the Gun Collective episode the other day.
I've met the dude. I met him the first at NRA this year, but I've seen him all over the place. I've seen him in Hank Strange's place. I've seen him in a couple other different ones. But check these out. So this is the mini shell here.
Oh, that's awesome. A little stubby.
That's it. I mean, you can imagine that this is my finger. So
get knuckle punched.
This is 7.5 shot. It's 1 3/4 inches. Let's see, 5/8 load, 18 GM. I don't know what that is, but it goes 11 set. Let's see, 1,175 feet per second.
Which I think a normal 12 gauge is like 1,400. So
yeah,
that's pretty dang good.
Basically, the way I'm looking at it is like this: if we're going to take that shotgun course, a shotgun course is going to be on defensive shotgun, correct?
Yep.
The only place I'm going to use a shotgun in defense is in my home if I were to use one. So what am I going to have in my home? These. So why would I not use these if that's what I'm going to use?
So what is the price on those?
I'm pretty sure they're like $15 or $16 per box, and I think that there is 12 in here. No, 20. There's 20 of them in here. So
okay,
it's not that bad.
So they're a little bit more than normal shells, just because I guess it's a little bit harder to crimp that thing lower than the normal dies I've already got made up for the thousands of, or not even millions and millions, if not billions of shotgun shells they've made.
Yeah, I see. I'm still putting them in my hand. It's crazy how small these things are.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to go get some of those. Those are pretty cool.
I can't hold them there, but
so was that the main purpose for those? Was self-defense?
I think so. I don't see any other purpose for them. I mean, maybe using a slug, in competition, maybe that's the only thing I can think of. I don't know. I can imagine if you were to get slugs in these, they would have enough power to knock down steel that you're going to hit in a competition. Is what I could imagine. So if I was going to do that competition on Saturday, I'd be using the slugs in these for sure.
That's pretty cool. I'd love to see that, how it worked out.
Man, I wish I had my shotgun in here so I could show you that clip. That thing is really cool. If I go get it, it's gonna be like super loud. But
yeah, you're good. So we'll see you this weekend. Hopefully, we'll see you at the shotgun class. The one last thing I wanted to talk to you about is the big thing in the news right now. Trump saying he's seriously going to look at banning suppressors. You think that's going to happen? You think he's just blowing smoke? We all kind of thought he was blowing smoke about the bump stock, and then they ended up banning them. So to me, I feel like number one, I always knew where Trump stood. Unfortunately, it was the lesser of two evils at that point. But now we're kind of seeing more and more of his true colors come out, I feel like.
That's the thing. So I had a strong – they're working shotguns. Yeah, man. Richards won't know if those mini shells working shotguns. Yeah. I have these – I use these in a Mossberg Maverick 88, and the reason why I use these in a Mossberg is because the feed ramps on the Mossbergs are half and not a full feed ramp like they are in Remingtons. So you can use a little thing which is called a clip. I know that's it's called an OPSO clip is what it's called. And it's basically a little rubber piece that you shove down in where the feed ramp goes, because it's only half, doesn't have the full metal part there. It will go in there and allow you to feed it up and down. Now the thing about Trump, I have an opinion about Trump that I fell for it. I fell hard for it. And when we saw him at NRA that one year, I was like, oh yeah, this guy's not going to take any shit, and he's going to be pro 2A and all sorts of stuff. And we fell hard for it, man. Yep. I ain't gonna lie. And like you said, he was the lesser of two evils, and I still think that he was the lesser of two evils. I think that a lot more shit would have probably been done if he had not been in office. If Hillary would have won, a lot more stuff would have been done to our rights. But my God, he's supposed to be a 2A pro 2A president, and he's just not. He's totally not. I don't understand. Trump Jr. is cool as shit. Have you ever? I mean, you've seen him at NRA, right?
Yeah, that's what I was just about to say. Half of Trump Jr.'s videos have suppressors on them. So I saw a meme. I mean, it's been meme central since he announced this, but I saw a meme today, and that famous Drake meme where he's doing the hotline bling video, where he's like this, and then he like shakes it off. But the first video was like civilians owning suppressors, and then the second one was his son, and his son was like, yeah, that's cool, but I'm not letting civilians have, and then everybody on social media is Donald Trump Jr., you need to talk to your dad. It's hard. I made a post yesterday about this. It's hard not to put a tinfoil hat on when you see the mass shooting in Virginia and the guy uses a suppressor for the first time, like in a mass shooting situation like that. And then all of a sudden our president is talking about banning them. I hate being the tinfoil guy, but it's like, God, like sometimes you just think that these things are planned out.
Yep, man. I'm like you. I don't want to be a conspiracy guy, but I mean, how can you not be? I mean, when it comes to stuff like I mean, think about the Vegas thing. I mean, if you're a gun guy like we are, and everybody in the chat is, and everybody that's watching is, we know that at 223 556, it's not going to travel more than 700 yards, maybe if you're lucky. That guy was 2,400 feet away, or 2,400 yards away from the freaking. I mean, I know you can arc it up and everything, but come on, man.
Now, and you bring up the Vegas shooting. I mean, what directly have we seen happen because of the Vegas shooting, and that is the bump stock ban? I mean, one psychopath who uses something that literally probably didn't make him any more of a killer in that situation, other than the fact that he was able to get more rounds out quicker. But
I don't think I can shoot as fast as my fingers I can with a bump stock.
Yeah, right. Yeah, even just a little bit more than average shooters know that you can pull a trigger pretty dang fast.
It's actually pretty hard to use a bump stock. I mean, I don't know if you've ever shot one or not before, but it's actually pretty hard to
it's
use.
hard to get it to function correctly. even like those binary triggers and stuff. I mean, you have to have your touch exactly right.
You got to have timing down, and not saying that you can't go to the range and get that stuff down, but it's so much easier just to use a regular trigger. I mean, I don't know.
And then that stuff was so.
The sound and everything doesn't even come close, man. It just doesn't even come close.
I mean that, and then you got Vegas keeping that under wraps for over a year. What all this stuff that went down. They started releasing the videos of the security footage.
I will say, what really have we learned from that?
I mean, in my opinion, that the only thing we've learned is that the president will ban something because of people's emotions. So, and in my opinion, even the bump stock ban is illegal because of the way they did it. And I really, really, really wanted to believe this far-fetched idea that Trump knew what he was doing was illegal, and the fact that it will go to the Supreme Court will maybe rectify it at that point, but he needed to do something at that time, or something worse was going to come along the way. Because, we all talked about it. None of us care about bump stocks because it's such a stupid gimmick thing. But it's not the bump stock. It's the concept of the idea that if you give them an inch, they're going to take 50 miles from it.
They are trying to do, and they have always tried to do.
Yeah. And they will never stop. The opposition is never, ever, ever, ever going to stop. As we've seen, we thought we might get a little comfort having Trump in, and it's just gotten even worse.
Yeah, exactly. I don't know, man. It's like it's one thing right after another. I don't understand. Like, first of all, you take the bump stock thing, and it's just, I don't know. It's hard to. We could go in a rabbit hole like with this stuff.
Oh yeah.
It's. I don't even know where I'm going with that, but
yeah, I didn't mean to get into politics that much. It's just like, unfortunately, it's the hot topic right now.
No, I mean, it should be talked about because people should know about it.
Yeah, right. But like you said, politics is just a rabbit hole, because once you start talking about one thing, you get into more and more and more stuff.
All I know is that I took the bait and I voted for Trump because I thought that what he said, I honestly think the guy's never been a Republican.
Mm-hmm.
And, you can be a Republican, Democrat, whatever. It doesn't really matter to me. As long as you're pro 2A, I don't really give a shit what you are. I personally think that I'm more libertarian than I am Republican, honestly. I mean, I agree with most morals and good morals, as far as like being a baby killer and all that kind of shit. But I think that he gave everybody what they wanted to hear just to get that vote. And he knew that if he played the game right and he said exactly what we wanted to hear, that we were going to vote him in no matter what. And that's exactly what happened. People were tired of hearing the same old bullshit and the same old, corporate structure and all sorts of shit that Clinton, possessed basically. And he totally just came in there and said, I'm not going to take shit from anybody. We're going to do this and that and the other, which was everything that we wanted him to happen. Wanted him to do. We thought that he was like the average guy. He's a freaking billionaire. He's never been an average guy, like ever.
True.
He said what he wanted to say so we could vote him in. And now that he's in there, he's not keeping his promises or whatever he said anyway. So it's just like, what do you do,
And I think, to give him credit, he ran the most genius campaign that's ever been ran in the history of politics. A lot of people would consider him an asshole and dumb and stuff, but the dude harped on the hot topics, and
that's how he won.
And he wasn't filtered, So I think a lot of people appreciated that on both sides, that the fact that, hey, like, this guy isn't like, there's not somebody telling him what to say.
He's got balls is the reason why I voted for him. I was like, this guy has got balls. He's willing to stand up for whatever he wants. And that's great because that's what I would do. That's why I voted for him. And it's just a big pile of shit now.
So to end it, are we stuck voting for Trump in 2020?
Unfortunately, unless I personally think that Ben Shapiro should be president.
That would be amazing.
Yeah, I think Ben would be an awesome president. I even think
Dan Crenshaw, I think, would be a really good one too.
Yeah. I don't know, man. There's so many other options, but the problem is, are those options going to come forward? Probably not. So yeah, we're probably stuck voting with Trump again.
not only are they going to come forward, are they going to win? You know, and now we are so divided between the left and the right that if the left gets in, man, we're done. You know, you met Chase. Talking to my buddy Chase earlier today, he said that we're going to see an all-out ban in our lifetime, and
Oh yeah,
that's scary as shit to imagine. But also, I can't in my mind think that that's not true. You know what I mean? I hope to God it's not. I hope that we can create and save the 2A community and the Bill of Rights, you know, the Second Amendment for our future generations. But dude, I mean, it's looking like we're fighting a losing battle, unfortunately.
yeah. That's one of the main reasons why I like Tennessee. I like living in the hills.
Yep.
So
shout out to Blount County for being a Second Amendment sanctuary.
There you go. The thing is that I'm not saying rat hole your shit, but you should probably rat hole your shit. And I'm not saying that I've lost all my stuff in a boating accident, so I don't know where any of my stuff is.
Did you see that post about the ATF has now come out with a new submarine crew to retrieve everybody's lost guns from boating accidents?
Oh, that's about right. I'd be like, man, I don't know where I was. I was drunk at the time.
Hell, I can't even get the ATF to cash a suppressor check from 7 months ago, man. Now I'm on my second check now because the first check was still dated. So
wow.
And then to top that off, my buddy Casey Boyer back home, if he's watching, buddy, I love you, but I fucking hate you right now. Excuse my language. The local gun store that I used to shop at before I moved to Tennessee closed down, and they got with the ATF and was able to push everybody's stamps through that had anything going through that business because of them closing down. And he had his suppressor within 3 to 4 months.
Oh wow, that's awesome.
Yeah.
That's really cool, actually.
Yeah, like I said, you know, I'm happy for it, but I hate it at the same time.
That's crazy luck right there, man.
It's so stupid. You have to pay $200 and wait a year for a metal can.
Yeah, I heard that they were like, I can't remember what thing I was on. I was on either Hank Strange or Sean's This Week in Guns or something like that. One of those, and we were talking about how they were talking about upping the amount of money that you're going to have to pay for one of those, and they haven't done it yet. Hopefully, they won't, but you never know.
Yeah, some crazy stuff is coming, man. I always thought the craziest thing I'd see in my lifetime is aliens being officially announced. You know, I've always had this feeling that we're getting to that point. You know, we're either going to find out one way or another in our lifetime is how I felt about it. And now I wouldn't even consider that crazy. I feel like the whole Constitution and the Bill of Rights is just going to be.
Unfortunately, I really don't want that to happen, but man, it's so close. Like, you know, and I could be wrong. Maybe it's not close, but to me, I feel like it's close. Yeah. I feel like if we would have had another somebody else in office, that it could have been so close to not even being there.
Oh yeah, we would all be California right now.
Yeah, fuck California. Everybody's watching in California. If you're watching, I don't want nothing to do with you.
Screw your state.
I'm sorry.
We have a lot of friends that are behind enemy lines over there. You know, but it's just like the stuff that happens there. I mean, these guys there's nothing preventing people from traveling over state lines to a place like Nevada or Utah where they are very pro-gun and getting the stuff they want and coming back into town because California can't cover that entire border, you know, on their west or on their east side to prevent all these people from coming in with whatever.
Actually, I heard from I think I heard from Hank Strange that in Nevada they have a non-pro 2A governor now, and he's starting to pass some crazy shit, like so bad to where SHOT Show may not be there anymore.
Wow.
Yeah.
Now, I had heard that they had been talking about moving SHOT Show for the past couple of years, so maybe that kind of ties into this too.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's crazy how one person in power can change so much, and it should never, ever, ever be like that.
This is what I don't understand. You say that, and I totally agree with you. But it seems like it's always power in the wrong direction, because look what we had at the very beginning. We had a Republican president, supposedly, and we had a completely Republican House, and we got nothing done.
Yeah.
Absolutely nothing done. Nothing that he was promised was done at all. That's why that was when that happened, and when nothing happened and it switched over to where it was all Democratic after that. I was just like, fuck Trump, in my opinion, because he didn't do nothing, man. He hasn't done it. The only thing he's done in office, honestly, is that he's lowered taxes and he's created a lot of jobs, which, let's be honest, every Republican president does that.
Yeah.
So what has he done to
help us, like
help the 2A community, which is under attack constantly?
Yeah.
What has he done? Nothing.
He had mentioned, how can you be pro-constitutional carry but be anti-suppressor? You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Like, just it's getting to a point where you can't defend him anymore.
Honestly, it really is. And like I said, I ate it hard. I really did. I totally just swallowed it all. And yeah, and I admit it. But now it's just like, what do you do? Who do you vote for now? Because he was the knight in shining armor, basically, and now he's just not. So I don't know.
And people that probably should have been in his place. I was a big Ted Cruz supporter. Rand Paul is what I think is the ideal candidate. I mean, the guy has been shot before, and he's still pro 2A. You know what I mean? Like,
I hope that somebody comes out and runs against him, and I hope it's somebody cool. I really do. I hope that either, like I said, Ben Shapiro or somebody, man. I hope it's somebody.
I would love to see that happening, but unfortunately, I think Trump's going to be the ticket holder again, just because he's going to have to go up against somebody like Dianne Feinstein or Bernie Sanders again. And,
of course, we don't want them in office. I mean, at least if we have Trump, he's at least kind of leans our way.
If anything, he's delaying the inevitable a little bit. You know what I mean? Like, instead of giving it all to him at once, he's just giving it to him piece by piece, which is not anywhere what we want him to do. But it's like, okay, people tend to compromise, and that's where we get in trouble. Is compromise leads to an eventual complete, change of law.
In saying what you're saying, I will say this. Guys, if you don't know what a Polymer 80 is, this is it, and you should probably buy some, because this is the thing. In Tennessee, you don't have to register any firearms. It's not and it's not like that in every state. In a lot of states, you do have to register every firearm, and that sucks. You should probably move. But in Tennessee, you don't have to register anything. So with these babies right here, a Polymer 80, for those that don't know, a Polymer 80 is basically a polymer lower that is 80% done and is 20% the rest of the work you got to do, which is, I'll break it down for you what you have to do right now.
Actually, I'll get mine out while you're talking about it.
Okay, so what you do with a Polymer 80 is you take, first of all, it does not have a slide on it, so you want to take the slide off like this. So basically, you have the Polymer 80 here. It's just the frame. Where these metal, rails are in this thing, they're not there. So there's a piece of plastic a little bit higher, okay? And so basically all you have to do is you sand down in between here to take this wall out, and then you sand down these little plastic pieces here on the edges so you can put these metal rails inside there.
Okay? This is the wall he's talking about right here, guys, if you can see that.
Yeah, so basically you sand that down, and then you sand down the rails so that you can put the plastic pieces in there. And that's literally all you have, or the metal pieces in there, sorry. And that's literally all you have to do with this thing. And you basically do not have to register this. It doesn't have a serial number on it. This thing can be shipped to your house with no FFL. Nobody knows you have it. This is a Polymer 80. Then you get a company like Rockslide USA or Glock. They have complete uppers, and they can, hey, with Glock being a complete upper, because it has a serial number on it, do they have to send it through FFL?
No.
Okay. Well,
no, you can get on eBay right now and order any complete slide Glock that you want.
Well, I know that they have the numbers on them, so I didn't know if that was.
Yeah, no, and that's what a point I was about to bring up. The fact that this little piece of plastic is and it's the same way with almost, any gun, your ARs and stuff. That one piece is the only thing that's registered. And that is such a bull crap way to try to prevent crime from happening, because people like us still follow all the rules to get this stuff. And yet, criminals are just going out there and stealing them out of people's cars or their houses and stuff.
It's literally legal to buy these, have them sent to you in the mail, then buy a place that has a full complete slide, and you're ready to roll. And it's literally a legal firearm that you do not have to register if you haven't, registered in a state or whatever.
And they make it super easy. So, I have yet to do mine, so I'm a little, how'd you say, a rookie with it. But they send you a jig. They literally send you every drill bit you need, the pieces to complete the frame. And then all you have to buy is your mag release, your trigger, and that's it, right?
Yep, that's it. You literally buy a trigger, shoe. What, you just go to glock.com. You can buy all this stuff.
Yeah.
OEM Glock parts. Trigger shoe. You don't have to deck it out like I got here or whatever. Go with different companies. You can literally buy this stuff. If you go with a complete slide from Rock Slide, they already have all your parts and your barrel and everything already completed, so you don't have to do any of that. You literally just take this slide it on, and you're ready to roll. But with the gun itself, the frame, you have to buy the pins and the trigger shoe, the trigger bar, and the trigger assembly. The takedown pin or the takedown bar, and that's it. That's literally all you have to. Well, magazine or the mag release and basically the entire parts kit on the lower bottom.
I mean, anybody that has any common sense and can follow instructions can build a Glock out of their P80 frame. And
it's so easy. Don't be hesitant about it because it's so easy.
Quick question or quick side note here. Richard said that in the UK you can just go buy a can when you want. But
really?
The UK also has some of the strictest gun laws, correct, Richard? So I know you guys have some very strong limits on what you can own, or is it more or less like a wait time and certain permits to get what you want? The Gun Snob is headed out. Thank you for tuning in, brother. Really appreciate you watching. This is our first one, like I said, but we're going to be getting a lot more into these YouTube lives and starting our podcast here soon. So thanks, brother.
Hey, I think you said that it's just clicked onto me, like it's not showing you anymore.
Oh, yeah. So is there a way I can have this auto go back and forth? Because I've been clicking it myself.
Yeah, it should automatically do it.
Yeah, it's not.
Really?
Yeah.
Huh. It should automatically do it with the voice and the camera. Well, that's weird.
I messed something up, I guess.
I don't know. It should do it automatically. But yeah, man, if y'all haven't got Palm Readies, do that.
Cool. We'll see if Richard responds. Let's see. Did I have anything else I wanted to talk to you about? We got the shotgun class, shoot this weekend. We talked about your Glock, suppressor laws, and Patreon. Can you give us a sneak peek on what your next 7/6 Tuesday video is?
Well, we haven't filmed it yet. So I do have a video coming out on Friday, and it is a very large something that I got in the mail.
Ooh.
I mean, and by large, I mean large in stature. Like it's huge. So that video will come out on Friday. But
is it something we talked about a couple of days ago that you were really wanting?
Yeah, probably. Yeah.
Ooh, nice.
So it's coming in on Friday, and I think our 7/6 Tuesday this week will be on. I think it's the 509 Tactical, maybe. I'm not sure. I can't remember which one it is. We got a couple that we have to pick from, and I think that's the one that's on the bill next. I think.
Awesome.
Either that, or we're actually going to do one on, because the video that we put up on the Palmer 80 is just one that we did with unboxing and like showing you what we did with them.
Right.
We have to go to the range and shoot them and do that kind of stuff too. So it's either that or the 509. I don't know. It doesn't.
Gotcha. Yeah, the 509 seems like a really good gun too.
Yeah, it is really cool. I like it a lot.
So Richard said yes. It also depends on what part of the UK where you live, but with cans, you can just tell the police what caliber it is, and then you just go and buy it off the shelf.
Wow, that's awesome.
So, like, it's crazy that a place like that could keep you from owning a gun, but they're like, hey, if you got a gun, you can have a suppressor for sure.
I don't understand that at all, but
I mean, it's kind of like that New Zealand laws. You know, we had the guy on here on live on our Facebook right after that shooting, and he was talking about all the crazy stuff. There's 3 different types of permits, and you know, your A permit is basically like your novice permit, in a generic way of explaining it, to where the top permit is like you can have better magazines and better weapons, and you can get a bigger caliber and stuff. And you know, this guy just went over country lines and got all of his drum mags and all this crazy stuff, and killed all those people.
Yeah, that's nuts, man. And I don't, like I said, I don't like to, well, I didn't say this, but I don't like to armchair quarterback anything. But God, man, there's so much you could have done.
People are very willing to just sit there and die these days.
I don't understand that, man. I don't understand it at all. The thing is, when we went to tactical response, and I use this a lot because when I went to tactical response, yes, I had the mindset of, you know, I'm gonna fight till the end or whatever, you know. But that was actually never really ingrained into my head as much until I went to tactical response. And it's James Yeager, and I know a lot of people don't like him, think he's an asshole, whatever. In fact, he's really not. He is one of the nicest dudes I've ever met.
Yeah, he's a very nice guy.
He is the guy that will give you the shirt off your back or off his back. He's the coolest guy as long as you don't fuck him, basically. And that's basically the way he works. And I'm kind of the same way. We both know that by people that we know who we're talking about. And basically, I'm fucking done with that dude. Like, I don't want to talk to him. I don't want to see him. If I do see him, it probably won't be pretty. Right. But it's just if you fuck me, then you're done. I'm done with you. That kind of thing. He's the same way. But when I went to tactical response, it was basically ingrained into your head. You fight until the last breath you have. If you have to go down on your knees and grab a fucking mouthful of nutsack to rip the nuts off, that's what you got to do. That's what you got to do to win. Right.
Yeah.
If you're not playing dirty to win a fight, you're going to lose, basically.
Yep.
If you look at it. So, and it's
if you're not cheating, you're not trying hard enough when it comes to your life.
It's your life, and it's what you make out of it, and it's what you put on it is what it's worth. So mine's worth everything to me. So I'll fight for me and my family and people that are around me until I die my last breath. And it will be fighting. It will not be on my knees begging for something.
Yep. A couple things to add to that. James Yeager, one thing I noticed that kind of goes with his character is he posted a video the other day about talking about his safety issue or safety failure that he did. You know, he didn't really go
because I barely even saw where he did that.
See, and I didn't either. That's why I tried to go back and see it. But he made a video saying, like, I did this, I was wrong. I wanted to come out and say it. You know, I don't know if there's a lot of people that commented. I didn't see no crazy backlash like you see in this community, because if you do something stupid, it's everywhere within a matter of minutes. You know what I mean?
I think that's what he was trying to address, because he didn't want it to get everywhere. But from what I could tell, he was sitting on a bench and he had it on a bag, right? And he was sitting like this on a bench, and he had his finger out or whatever. And then when he went to go shoot, he put his finger on the trigger, and he went to do something, and it didn't go off. So he actually had to pull it up and look at it. And it was just like for a split second, and he kept his finger on the trigger. But it was still pointed downrange, and there's nobody around him. So, and he was like, me taking my eyes off the sights and looking at this without pointing it at something, and my finger was still on it, that was a safety issue.
Yeah, yeah.
And yeah,
it can be argued both ways, like if you know what your berm is, you've been to our range. We have a little bit of like a 10-foot berm, but even like they say in class, that's not the actual berm. The berm is the hill that's another 100 yards behind that, because we know what's in between our berm and there.
Right.
And then
I think he wanted to get it out there before somebody, because he's got people looking at him all the time trying to find some shit wrong with him.
He's got a bunch of haters,
So he's just putting it out there like, okay, guys, look, this happened. Let's not make a big deal, or I'm sorry, or whatever.
Yeah.
If it had been me and somebody had said something about it, I'm like, fuck you.
The last thing we'll talk about, man, so that way we can get off here, get to bed, let everybody else go to bed. You're talking, just sitting there and not not taking it on your knees in the end. You know, I posted that video yesterday of that guy. It was a little bit later when I posted it, but it looked like it was overseas. The guy was just kind of standing there. It almost looked like it was a hit, but the guy stabbed him.
Oh yeah, I saw that
multiple times, and it just kind of seemed like he never once fought. You know, at one point, it looked like he was going to try to get up and maybe go, but he never once tried to fight for his life.
Dude stabbed him in the face
to the point to where at the end he was like, the knife was stuck in the dude's skull. Like
he stabbed him so hard in the face that when he tried to pull the knife out, it pulled his body.
Yeah.
I mean, it was in there, and that's one of the craziest videos I've ever seen. I saw another one on. I saw my wife's. I think she's watching. I saw another one on there. It was on active self-protection, and this dude, he was in like a convenience store or something like that. The guy was robbing him with a knife, and the guy was trying to get to a gun in a drawer, and he kind of wrapped up around him. They kind of fought for a little bit, kind of struggled, whatever. Eventually, the guy got him in like the chest like 3 or 4 times, got him in the back, and eventually stabbed him somewhere in the collarbone area up in here, and it got stuck so hard that he was literally pulling his body because the knife was stuck in his body so hard. And it was one of the craziest videos I've ever seen. And if he'd had a gun on his person versus it being in a drawer, he might have had a chance at it. I don't want to armchair quarterback at all, but there's a reason why I carry a gun on my waist.
That brings up another video I've seen. I believe Active Self-Protection posted it. It was, I believe, a taxi driver overseas, and the guy started stabbing him in the cab, and he had a seatbelt on, and he was trying to defend himself. He was trying to get the seatbelt off, but, he could never get anything to work in his favor. But even after, like, what looked like 30 stabs, the dude was still conscious and at least trying to block what was coming. There's drop. You fucking slam on the fucking accelerator and slam on the brakes and throw that dude through the windshield. Something like if it's coming down to those mere seconds that you're either going to be in a casket in a few days or you're going to be in a hospital for maybe a month recovering, you've got to fucking figure this shit out, and you got to do it within a matter of seconds. And I think it's very horrible to see these people just kind of sit there and take it.
When instinct takes over, man, and of course, I've never been in this situation. I hope to never be in this situation, as do you, I'm sure. It's just when instinct goes off, and it talks about like when people are talking about like, oh, why did you shoot him 5 times, whatever. I just shot him till the fucking magazine was empty. Yeah. It's just it's a perpetual thing that happens with emotion and just it's natural. And to me, it's just I'm literally fighting to the end, regardless.
Till my dying breath.
Yep.
Well, we'll end it on that, brother. I appreciate you tuning in with me. We'll be seeing you here in just a couple of days out at the 3-gun shoot.
Yeah, man. Can't wait.
Awesome, brother. You take care. Have a good night, and we'll see you all soon. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in, and we'll be doing this stuff a lot more. So definitely hit that subscribe button. Go subscribe to Black Diamonds Guns and Gear. Josh and Josh are awesome. And hopefully we'll be actually filming a video together here soon, because the last 3 times we've tried to do that, it's kind of not worked out. So
yeah, it's just things have just gone, but it'll be fine. We'll do one here shortly.
Oh yeah, life, man, always has a way of changing our plans.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, brother. All right, you take care, man. I'll talk to you soon.
All right, man. Later.